What do you foresee the future of America is if we keep going down this route?
It's very dark. Increasingly, we're going to see that the wealth is going to shoot up to a very small minority of people. And mind you, I am a capitalist. I'm a person. I want to be in the 0.001%. But we're going to see wealth sucked into that 0.001%. We're going to see a rapid decline in culture and quality of people. You see, the problem is when we're talking about making America great again, we forget that we also have to make the Americans great again. So it used to be that Americans were more productive than other peoples and, you know, had a superior culture, work ethic, and mindset as compared to other peoples. I would not say that that is currently the case. And so increasingly we're going to see, and you know what, the Soviet Union actually described a strategy of cultural subversion. They wanted to spread the hippie movement and get Americans focused on drugs, irrelevant things, become idlers, unproductive. And I think TikTok has largely achieved that.
I call it a Trojan horse.
Yeah.
Like, the country's great. You can't fight them head to head, but from within.
And it's been very successful. I mean, at the end of the day, we're borrowing money from China to pay for a war in Ukraine that is not really our own, and thereby pushing Russia and China closer together, which many analysts and even the persons within those nation states have always said America should not let this happen.
If we stopped all trade with outside countries, we'd be fucked on some level.
Trade has been a critical part of international capitalism, but we have to stop certain. One, we need to create certain import taxes on particular industries that are core to our national security. For example, if you're talking about the things that go into building tanks, aircraft, that should all be domestic, which is not actually the case.
I agree.
We also need to improve our presence on the African continent. They need to view us as a friend, not as a colonizer. We need to have access to the critical resources there, uranium, coltan, things
China's
like this.
been doing that for a very long time, building their roads for free and everything.
And Russia.
Yep.
Farming.
And China pretends as though it's for free, but what they'll do is nice hat, my brother. You dig? What they'll do is they'll say, hey, we'll use your airport as collateral. We'll use your port as collateral. And you guys are sub-Saharan African nations, so you're always going to default because they're predatory loans, and you guys are idiots anyway. So when you screw it up, we're going to own this, that, and the third. And we're also going to overpopulate your country with our people. So we're going to send them over there as well.
Workers.
People
as
don't
workers.
know the
and
Caribbean,
they also send police too.
The Caribbean is, and I didn't know this until I came to the Miami field office. The Caribbean is filled with Chinese.
Everywhere.
They're all over Jamaica. They're
When
all
I
over
saw
the Bahamas. There's a Chinese embassy in the Bahamas, guys.
Bro, I knew it was crazy when I saw an Asian guy in Barbados that spoke Jamaican. I was like, wait, what?
You will always see that.
They
will always speak the language of the place that they are in fluently and still live in a community that is all their own.
Yeah.
And eventually the Chinese government also starts to create a police force in that nation that is Chinese police. You can observe this in Zambia. And when I was in Ethiopia, I noticed all their new constructions were being built by the Chinese, funded and built by the Chinese. When I was in South Africa, I noticed that they put up a sign, like a public sign, and they have it in English and then in Mandarin. I was like, oh, you ain't put that in Zulu? You ain't put that in Xhosa? You ain't put that in Xhosa? Right? That's crazy. Like, no respect for the people who are here.
Yeah.
But do you expect the Chinese to respect you, or do you need to respect yourself? Major problem. People don't have self-respect. That's why I have that 3-sentence Bible, 3-sentence Quran. Number 1, be yourself. Number 2, be good to yourself. Number 3, be good to good people. Be good to yourself. Number 2. A lot of people forget about that. It causes problems.
They do.
My granddad would always say,
hoes ain't shit.
To people that are good to him.
Right.
Anybody else, don't give a fuck about, because they don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, you know, people talk shit and say China is behind, blah, blah, blah. The economy's going to fail or whatever. I mean, dude, within the next 50 years, I mean, China's a very serious, you know, nemesis for the United States. They're stealing our intellectual property left and right. They're the biggest thieves of our technology. They got spies getting caught left and right here all the time.
And what do we do?
And we fucking...
catch and release like they're immigrants,
pretty much. The Russians too. You know, because we're doing stupid trades, right, where we're giving like the merchant of death over for a WNBA player that smokes some weed.
Right.
Ridiculous, man. It's just wild. And